Chapter 2. Could your case be worth $1 million? They call it personal injury for a reason. Each person's case is different, and results vary based on a variety of factors, such as the amount of medical bills, lost wages, mileage, and other expenses. Additional factors include the percentage of fault by each person involved in the case, available insurance coverage, how old a person is, and how much an injury has influenced your life. A common question early in this case is, how much is my case worth? If we are discussing something like car repair, it is easy to obtain several estimates for the repair costs. However, it is rare to know the value of a personal injury case early, since it is difficult to have a complete understanding of a person's entire medical situation. The value of a personal injury case is dependent upon the extent of injuries, the amount of medical bills, how much of your medical bills are paid by someone else, the amount of your wage losses, and how much, if at all, damages will continue to increase in the future. There are many factors which makes this an area of great controversy. One way to understand personal injury case value is to look at the verdict form in a typical personal injury case. First, a jury was asked whether there was negligence on the part of the defendant, the person sued, that was the legal cause of the plaintiff's, or the person who filed a lawsuit, injuries or damages. This is a yes or no question, and if the jury says no, there was no negligence, then you have lost your case. The next question is whether there was any negligence on the plaintiff's part or any other party's part. The answer to this question could have the impact of reducing the overall amount of damages that you may recover. Next, most verdict forms are going to ask a jury to decide the total amount of the medical expenses related to the accident and the total amount of the wage loss. Another question will ask whether these injuries are permanent. If the injuries suffered in a motor vehicle accident are not permanent, then pain, suffering, and damages from the past may not be collected. The value of personal injury cases are highly influenced by the amount of medical expenses and wage loss. In small cases involving minimal injuries, the insurance company sometimes will pay a small sum of money and be done with the case without very much proof of loss. In larger cases, specific proof of medical complications could be important to convince an insurance company to pay sizable damages before a lawsuit is filed with the court. Most of the time, lawyers can give you a range of the value of the case based upon their experience. Insurance companies actually keep a database of the amounts they have paid out in particular cases, which are shared with each other but not with consumers. The initial amount the insurance company offers for your case is not necessarily the final amount, and they may have to pay more or less in your particular situation. The important point to remember is that all of the data that is being accumulated on personal injury cases in general and over time is influencing your present case. For instance, if a person suffers a certain back injury, and the insurance company typically pays $40,000 to $60,000 for that type of back injury, that doesn't necessarily mean that in future cases, the insurance company is going to willingly pay $40,000 to $60,000 right off the bat. If they can pay $20,000 on a future case, they will do it. Every case is different. Nevertheless, the data accumulated from settlements and jury verdicts in similar cases are a substantial factor in the settlement values an insurance company places on your case. Remember, the insurance company is a business and is expecting to make a profit. Just because you have heard of a neighbor or friend receiving a certain amount of money for a particular case does not necessarily mean that your similar case is worth the same amount. Your case may be worth much more or much less, depending upon the circumstances. It is actually unfair to evaluate your case based on what you have heard about someone else's case, be it a friend or even someone on television. Think of your case as a unique situation, with its own facts, details, range of value, and factors that could change the outcome. So many details of your case can vary from others, such as your age, your background, your insurance company, the amount of available insurance coverage, your medical expenses, any future medical expenses. The list goes on, and that is just the minimum of information needed in order to evaluate your case. Lawyers sometimes develop short descriptions of cases and may ask each other what they think is the relative value of a case by considering the many factors that I listed above. Insurance companies use extensive amounts of data that they have accumulated in past cases to make decisions about present cases. Insurance companies look at all available information from past cases as well as the unique data about your case to determine how much to pay and to see if they can pay you less on the claim. Secrets and lies. Lie. You can evaluate your case based on someone else's case. Truth, every case is different. Secret. The total amount of medical expenses and wage loss is